Imagine wielding a power so enigmatic that it can bend reality to your will, where truths twist and desires shape the very fabric of existence. A cunning figure emerges, wielding such power with a mastery shrouded in mystery. She is Savathun, the architect of deception, her plans intricately woven into the reality of time and space itself. Her association with the Ahamkara and their anthem anatheme has been long whispered in hushed tones, but her manipulation may run deeper than we've ever imagined. Join us as we unravel the threads of Savathun's grand design, exploring her use of paracausal forces and the impact of her true plan, escaping to our parent universe. Season of the Witch is right around the corner, and before we jump into today's lore and theory video, Bungie released a new teaser and image for the next season, and if you haven't seen it, it does give us some tiny hints.
All wishes come at a cost.
We first see a guardian running through the dreaming city. The Witch Wall is shown as they enter a portal, and then we get a glimpse at the Ahamkara and Mar Sov. Nothing too crazy for a teaser. If you thought about this season, this stuff likely came to your mind first. Mar Sov, of course, is going to be involved with the Ahamkara and the Dreaming City, as she's dealt with Riven and the Wish Wall in the past. The audio, though, is interesting. It sounds kind of like Mara, but of course it's an Ahamkara speaking. They use the voices of other characters. Also found in This Week in Destiny yesterday is this new image right here. You can see the Ahamkara in its full glory and Mar Sov at the bottom center. So super excited for this season, can't wait for it, and let's get into today's video. Savathun has been using the Ahamkara for a very long time. Back in the Books of Sorrow, when the Hive killed the Harmony, which used the Wish Dragons in their armies, Savathun was there. Oryx the Navigator was likely responsible for all the killing, but Savathun would study these creatures. The Ahamkara use what's called the anthem anatheme to insert their will over others. In broad terms, it's a sort of power. It lets someone change reality to fit what they want. Imagine being able to change the world just by wanting it to be different. The Ahamkara Wish Dragons are the most well-known creatures that use this. But Callus did at one point, who had an Ahamkara bone, that's why he spoke like those creatures, and Savathun did as well.
Through your actions, we've forged an age-old bond between my kind and yours. One wish granted deserves another, and I cannot wait to show you what she asked for. Oh, murderer mine.
I sent a gift to Nessus for you. I'll see you soon, O champion mine.
This will be our last talk until the day of the ritual, O guardian mine.
Savathun is very cunning, and she's deceived many species in different ways, but the Ahamkara may have been a part of her plans this whole time. They're deceptive, and so is she.
Truth is a funny thing. Does it live in the world? Or in the mind? Is it constant? Or can it be bent? Who decides what is true? In this universe of light and dark, there is no greater power.
So deciding what is true and what is not is a power, according to Savathun. Sounds like the power the Ahamkara use, maybe even from that anthem anatheme. If not though, and just from the Ahamkara, Savathun has been in contact with these creatures, making the wish to Riven, and even acquiring one of her eggs. At the tower, an Ahamkara skull is seen above Lord Shaxx. In 2 lore cards back around Arrival, Savathun used this skull to spy on Zavala and Shaxx. These 2 characters were prominent during the Great Hunt, so they do have connections to Ahamkara themselves, but the weird part is Savathun squeezed herself inside to listen and spy on them, even exert her own song. I push into my Acific den, and he is there. I see him looking over the side toward his traveler, head bent. He is speaking softly, but I can't hear him. Anyone who was listening could. He waits for a response, and I do as well, tense, curious. He stands attentively, this loyal dog of a man. It is no time at all for me, but for him, the hours creep by in silence. I am ready to choke the voice of his traveler if it answers him, but there is nothing. He tightens his grip on the railing. I feel something shift inside him, and a new possibility presents itself. Again, I press against the sockets. The net creaks softly with my eagerness. Someone approaches as he turns his back to his traveler. There is an exchange, obscured by the rubicund thrash. He is given reports. Hope bleeds from him. He gives the messenger a token of his faith. They accept it without understanding its meaning. He watches as they leave. There is a hollow place in his center. It is beautiful. I return warily. I do not see him, but I hear him. He speaks to all with a voice thick with grief. I must learn how far I've been set back. I reach to him tentatively. Strength. I push and feel only sweet, soft rot. I am delirious with pleasure. It gave them no answers. It was a reflex, the spasm of dumb muscle. A song of joy rises within me. Now. So that was from Traveler's Chosen. Interesting title given that lore, and Savathun becoming a light bearer a time after that. In the Krishura Mellow card, Savathun through the same Ahamkara skull now confronts Lord Shaxx. Savathun squeezes through the calcified channels of ascendant energy and manifests within the dangling Ahamkara skull. The man standing below the netting senses her appearance. His light flares as he draws his weapon with impossible speed. She has only a moment. She pushes her face down through the ropes, opens her mouth, and sings. The man stops, then slowly holsters his weapon. He turns, crosses his arms, and forgets. She melts awkwardly back into the skull as best she can, through a tangle of spindly elbows, licorice black, still juts from its sockets. She turns her attention to her quarry across the gap and hums her song softly to mask herself. Soon, the man below begins to hum along with her, and she smiles. Savathun took over Osiris using her Hive magics. Osiris was aware and alive in his body as Savathun cursed him and took it over. So part of me wonders if this was Hive magic and Savathun morphing, kind of like it describes that calcified energy, or if the Ahamkara were involved at all. There's clearly a connection to the Ahamkara here, allowing her to seep into that skull and, sing the song to these characters. Why the Ahamkara skull? What specifically allowed her to do that? Around this time, Savathun's song was also a thing. It crept up a couple of years before, but everyone was going crazy over it and the thought of it around this time when Savathun took Osiris's form. Even us players, which Savathun wanted.
I'm on the moon. It's made of cheese. That is awful. It's not my song. It's Eris's.
Rise up as one, march toward the sun.
The song is still kind of a mystery, but the belief is it slowly corrupts, and it makes people forget about Savathun herself. In the case of Shaxx, he sensed something was happening from the skull. His light flared, he pulled out his sidearm, but once she sang her song to him through it, he forgot. Savathun tries to take command of her subjects and make them forget it's even going on. Remember Lakshmi? She sang that song too, and now she's dead. So the song is scary and may not be a huge curse, but definitely affected characters in some way. The whole point is, has Savathun been using Ahamkara magic this whole time? Did she get it from the egg in her control? To me though, it's kind of strange. If she had an Ahamkara, why wouldn't she use it herself to get answers? According to the hidden dossier, Ikora speculates that Savathun wishes to escape this reality entirely, something the Ahamkara are also known to want. Are the creatures too dangerous for Savathun to use, or did she somehow use the egg, just secretly and no longer needs it because she has what she wants? Ahamkara believe that by transforming themselves, by metamorphosing from monsters into treasures, they become more real, more important ontologically. It is the gap between reality as is and reality as desired that they feed on. But then we must act urgently to stop this. Savathun cannot be allowed to depart our universe into some reality subordinate to ours. But now you tell me, so what if she does? What can she do to us out there? I think she got a glimpse into a world above our own, maybe even a kind of influence. The Truth to Power documents want it understood that Savathun wishes to enter the distributary in order to gain power in our parent universe. The suggestion here is that it is possible for actions in a concatenated universe to grant power in the parent universe. So if Ikora's theory is correct, that Savathun's plan all along was to enter this parent universe, did she use Ahamkara to achieve this? Ikora said she maybe even got a glimpse into a world above her own, even a kind of influence. The creatures who themselves are said to exist before time and want to transcend reality altogether, just like Savathun. Interesting. Anyway, Guardians, that's all we got for today's video. If you'd like to see some more Destiny lore and mysteries just like it, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.